Yes. It's steel.
But you can't be any geek off the street. Gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean.
Keeping it real.
Hello, and to the channel. My name is Steven, and this is Steel Keeping It Real. So, you know what today is? It's Throwback Thursday! And because it is Throwback Thursday, what I do is go deep into the crates, choose some songs from way back when, present them to you in hopes that if you've heard them, that's great. If you haven't heard them, then it's even better that I get to present these videos to you, these songs to you. So this next song that I'm doing is De La Soul, featuring the Jungle Brothers, Monie Love, Queen Latifah, and Q-Tip. It's the Buddy remix. Now, this song is from 1988, and I've always loved this song, whether it be the remix or whether it be the original version. However, I really can't remember hearing the original before I heard the remix, and I've always been attached to the remix. So that's the one that I'm doing right now. If you want to check out the original, by all means, you can. But even the original says it features the Jungle Brothers and Q-Tip. So with this one, you got the Jungle Brothers, Q-Tip, Queen Latifah, and Monie Love. So there's that. Hip hop was starting to turn the corner in the late 80s, towards the end of the 80s, because that's when you started getting into that NWA, Public Enemy, Eric B. Rakim, things like that. That's what you were getting into. So it wasn't almost, it was coming out of that novelty phase of, oh, you just got your Run DMC, your Beastie Boys, your Grandmaster Flash, your Curtis Blow, your LL Cool J's. That's all you got. It wasn't as prosperous, or it wasn't as mainstream as it is now. Now you got hip hop, and everybody's trying to infuse hip hop into everything because there's that attraction to it. I am not going to get, do any type of social economic, dissertation on the reason why that is, because I'm not qualified to do so, but I do have my theories. But if you have made it this far, please don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification button, because I'm putting out videos 10 to 15 each and every week. So, without any further ado, here is De La Soul, the Buddy remix.
And here we go.
Peace. Prince Paul's the name, and I'm here to break down the definition of buddy. Buddy doesn't mean girl, or sex for that matter. Buddy simply means body. Bodies of all kind. So on that note, we begin with our video.
One's about the KOs, the knockouts out there who I call my buddy. Now just wait, we're gonna talk about Buddy on this plate. But before we let the herd out the gate, make sure all the levels are straight out. The jungle, the brothers, De La Soul, on a roll. Black medallion, no gold, hanging out with bars, hanging out with mates. Buddy, all in my face. Fold the lap, Zembrowski must wear a cap. Just in case the young girl likes to clap. Ain't for the win, but before I begin, I initiate the body with the swim over next. I'm the keeper from a tribe called Quest. And if you quest for the body, don't fess. If the Jimmy wants nothing but the best.
The best?
The best. Let's stick out the Jimmy and see what we can catch. Next won't be needed unless
dancing on the dance floor. Girl, it's you that I adore. Step off stage, just scream for more. Native tongue got rhymes galore.
fly buddy. Don't you know you make me go nutty? I'm so glad that you're not a buddy duddy. Not too skinny and not too chubby. Soft like silly putty. Miss Crabtree. I know that you're not mad at me, cause I told you that it was your buddy. That was making me ever so horny. Jungleistically horny. I won't lie, I love B-U-D-D-Y. Cause I never let it walk on by. When it comes to me and Jenny, I seem very serious. Like a pig free, buddy is an act that occurs on the lift. When Jimmy and Jenny start shooting the gift, boy, let me get shot, I won't even riff. On the dial, my buddy talks to me for a while. Plug 2 is the U to her tip. On the A side of sometimes the flip. Word up, buddy is the bud to my daisy tree. And the looting to my do-re-mi. And the pleaser to my man Plug 3. Plug 3 is the whole caboose on the bush. My buddy like the way that I push. And like a champ just knock it on out. Never ever once selling out. My buddy helps me to relax my soul. Keeping Jimmy in total control. Without buddy, I'd be on a roll.
Now as the lady, I thought the jungle and quest of soul were just maybe. Give me the chance to say that I get crazy. Due to the fact I let Buddy amaze me. As a matter of fact, it crazes me in many ways. I decided that it was time for Monie love to say. But when it comes to the Buddy, you know that I don't play. Cause to me, chasing Buddy is the perfect way to spend the day.
Oh, child, things are getting a little easier. Oh, buddy, it's easier.
Girl, I heard you looking for some good times. If you quest from the soul, guess what we'll find? Whole lot of fun, lots of fun together, just like kissing cousins.
Yeah, that's kind of clever.
Close like bosoms, bosoms stay close if you be my buddy. I will toast several like Ethel Mertz and Lucille McGillicuddy. You can be mine, and I can be nobody. The best buddies in evening wear. Long love unless you know he's in there. I feel sorry for those who pay a fare. A fee, word to the D. I don't beg, I just tease my buddy with my right leg. And then when it's ready, what's said is buddy is best in bed. Word to the D. Buddy, told us all to get into a circle. Said don't worry because I won't hurt you. All I really wanna do is freak you. You know what? And then I watched, and then I checked my swatch to see the time. The tribe had phoned the buddy line, and that buddy was mine, oh mine. Now when Quest, Jungle, and De La Soul is at the club, our ritual unfolds. Grab our bones and start swinging our hands. Then Jenny start flocking in every brand. And Jennifer just wanna stay aware. Yo, fella, should we keep her aware?
Cut.
All right, so that was Buddy. De La Soul, Q-Tip, the Jungle Brothers, Monie Love, and very little of Queen Latifah. But Queen Latifah, right at the time, was getting ready to blow up. So, you know what? You got to get your start somewhere. Now, there's a couple of things on this that I want to point out. Number one, when you're hearing that kazoo, din, 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 that's actually a Sugar Hill Gang song from way back in the early 80s. Early 80s. I can't remember the song right off the top of my head. I just know it's the Sugar Hill Gang. There's other cultural things that are in there as well that I never really got into. Now, he mentioned the Black Medallion. That was a big thing in the late 80s where there was all of a sudden we became really Afrocentric. People were wearing these black medallions, wearing the red, yellow, and green, or red, the black, and the green. I think that's what one of those groups would say. And you were wearing a lot of tribal designs and things like that, and you were really super educated. And I think for the from where I was, it seemed like it was a more of a high class thing, meaning that if you were in college, that's where you were being somewhat indoctrinated. But that did kind of help in the fact that, at that same time, we're also talking about apartheid and bands that were playing in Sun City, South Africa, and how right around this time frame, there started becoming super groups being put together to make one song, like a We Are the World or something like that, but it was designed directly against nobody playing in South Africa until South Africa ends its apartheid. So, I go back and say there was a lot of good going on during the 80s, and we're not talking about anything that the president of that time was doing. It was about what other people are doing. You had your Live Aid, you had your Farm Aid, you had your USA for Africa, you had your Hands Across America, you had this particular one, or that consciousness about not playing in South Africa. There's actually a song that's called I Won't Play in Sun City, and Bono's on that one. And Stephen Van Zandt from Bruce Springsteen's band. So there was a lot of, people in the 80s, teenagers, young adults, who were thinking about other things other than what the yuppies were doing when they were just thinking about the greed and how to get their money and how to screw over the next person. And so they could be rich, kind of like that American Psycho type of thing. I want the money, and, if you don't have the money, you are beneath me. And that still goes on to this day. But I won't go into it anymore. Like I said, it could be a whole dissertation that could be done for a master's thesis when you start to touch upon, all the positive things that was being done in the 80s by teenagers and young adults. So if you have made it to this far, I thank you very, very much. I'm about 3 subscriptions away from 600, and I couldn't have done it without you. But I'm on my way to 700 by Thanksgiving, and in order for me to do that, I need for you to like, subscribe, share, and comment.